First, before I get started with the story, shout out to Blackjack21 for sending it to me. If the phrase, "I cannot make this ish up," was, or had a picture or pictures to go along with it, this picture right here in this story would be it. So you see two guys right here who are clearly cops, whose names are Addison Cox, who's the one on the left, and on the right is Mike Rollerson. And they're two cops out of Maine who were just recently fired from their jobs because, and get ready for when you hear this, they got fired because they beat a porcupine to death with their batons. I know, y'all are probably just sitting there saying, wait, hold up, huh? Yes, you heard that correctly. These two cops beat a porcupine to death with their batons. I have two questions. One, how were they able to get that close to a porcupine? Because the whatever it's called, because I don't know what the actual terminology is, that comes out of the body are pretty long. So I'm trying to figure out, how did they get close enough to beat this thing to death where the baton touched the body of the animal? And number two, you see how quickly they were able to fire them for beating an animal to death, although it was wrong. But when it comes to us getting killed unjustly by them, they have to go through a process to figure out as to why that was. Now, when I was reading through some of the comments, they was like, oh, it's amazing that they got fired for killing this animal, but they had to go through a whole process with Breonna Taylor, and they still are kind of at a standstill as it seems. And not just her, but plenty of other people. But we're just going to go ahead and straight up fire them. But this isn't the first time this has happened, because, there have been times in the past where they have done stuff to animals and they got fired for it immediately. But that just shows you on the hierarchy where we're placed. We're not even above an animal, no matter if it's in the wilderness or something that you can own as a pet. But let's get into it. Two Maine police officers were fired from the Rockland Police Department following a criminal and internal investigation into allegations leveled against them. Addison Cox, age 27, and Michael Rollerson, age 30, were fired after allegedly beating porcupines to death with their batons while on duty. The incidents, it says incidents, so they did this on more than one occasion. The incidents took place in early June, but were not reported until late August by another Rockland police officer. Police Chief Chris Young confirmed the termination of two officers in a statement on Facebook, but would not divulge their identities or any details, citing state law relating to employee discipline. Young declined to comment to CNN. A third officer is on administrative leave for allegedly filming a video of Rollerson killing a porcupine. The Maine Bureau of Warden Services, which oversees law enforcement related to fishery and wildlife, conducted the criminal investigation into the incidents, according to a court complaint filed by the district attorney's office. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, on behalf of the Rockland Police Department, completed an internal investigation into the allegations but could not divulge any details. Protected information from the investigation reports appear to have been leaked to the Courier-Gazette, as many details were not made available to the public. The court complaint states that on or about August 31st, Cox and Rollerson, in a manner manifesting a depraved indifference to animal life or suffering, did intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly cause extreme physical pain to an animal, cause the death of an animal, and physically torture an animal. Cox and Rollerson have been charged with misdemeanor aggravated cruelty to animals and night hunting, which are Class C and D crimes, respectively, in Maine. District Attorney Natasha Irving told CNN that Cox and Rollerson have a court appearance set for November 9th and have not yet entered pleas for any of the charges. Rollerson estimated that he killed 8 porcupines, while Cox said he killed 3 in the report compiled by the Bureau of Warden Services. Mike is a decorated veteran, a dedicated police officer, and a loving family man. He and his family have been devastated by these accusations. This is not an opportunity for some activists to score cheap points on an officer. Oh, trust and believe me, you won't see me rallying behind a porcupine, but I'm sure there might be possibly some animal groups out there that will, and they should. But will they? After all, they did come out against Michael Vick, but then again, I don't have to go into details why that is. Cox's attorney did not respond to a request for comment from CNN. A tremendous amount of power is given to those who wear a badge and are tasked with protecting their communities. It's a power that I do not take lightly, Rockland Police Chief Young said in a statement posted on Facebook. I'm asking you to trust that if there was an allegation of police misconduct, I would take it very seriously, and any investigation will be conducted appropriately, always placing public safety and community trust at the forefront. Cox and Rollerson have appealed their termination, according to the Courier-Gazette, which cited Joseph Pacone of the Teamsters Union. So it's not like these guys were being attacked by these porcupines. They went out there with the intent to harm and killed them. Killed a few of them. Meanwhile, Michael Vick indirectly had dogfighting on his property when he wasn't even there, and he gets scrutinized by all these animal rights groups for years. Even after he has paid his debt to society, they still come at his head about it to this day. And it's been it's probably been almost 10 years since that happened. And they're still coming at his, I think it's been more than that, honestly. And they're still coming at his neck about it. I want to know if they're going to say something about them, because they went out there and intentionally killed wildlife with their batons. Like, they were on a mission to do this. And then I think they undercharged him. Like, Michael Vick, he got felony charges. These guys got misdemeanors. Which means if they get found guilty, I don't expect them to do much jail time, or any for that matter. They might have to wear an ankle monitor. They'll probably go on probation. They might have to do some community service, working at some kind of an animal shelter of some sort. And, that's it. But we know why that is. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments.